Woke up one morning, I dressed myself, looked in the mirror, saw someone else. Tried to ignore it, just let it be. My face don't show it, but this ain't me. It's off to work and bills to pay. It can't be normal to live this way. Is it so important we get things done? Is life this hard for everyone? I don't believe, I don't believe. When I was young, I was taught to fear the wrath of God, and the end was near. I go to church and I hear them preach of wailing tongues and gnashing teeth. But when I get home, I'd run to the woods where I wasn't afraid of bad or good. No devils, angels, blame or shame. Nobody dying in Jesus' name. I don't believe, I don't believe. I never could write a bridge for this, so I just sing la 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 la's. But I know everybody's not from the same school of belief, so you can sing whatever you want to sing. Important thing is we hold the last note. We should hear angels. La 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 la. You're not holding that note. We're not going to hear the angels unless you hold the note. Here we go. On three. La 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 la. La 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 la. Did y'all feel that? I'm an artist, my ex-wife is too. Our kids stay home when they go to school. We teach them that life is when you breathe, free from guilt and free from greed. Love thy neighbor, love thyself. This can be heaven or this can be hell. I think life's beautiful, but it's your choice. You can grit your teeth or you can raise your voice and sing, I believe. I believe. I believe. Thank you. Thanks. I wrote that a long time ago, and I just thought of it this morning. I was talking to the mother of my two daughters, Zoe and Maisie, Carla Gover. That sounds better than ex-wife, the mother of my two daughters. But I was talking to her this morning, and I said, 40 years, and I still get torn up before a performance. I'm just like, oh gosh, am I going to fall apart? Am I going to be able to remember my own words? And then it just... Oh, you'd know, I'd let you know. I'd make a scene. But then I remembered how loving and welcome you all are. You welcomed me when I come, and it happened as soon as I walked in the door. And the meditation was wonderful this morning. I needed that. But I'm so happy to be here and grateful that you invite me back. Okay, let's see. Don't do it there. Oh, I have been a beggar and shall be one again. few who was with help to lend within the world of men. One day I walk in flowers, one day I walk on stone. Today I walk in hours, one day I shall be home. I've sat on the street corners, watch the boot heels shine, cried out glad and cried out sad, with every voice but mine. One day I walk in flowers, one day I walk on stone. Today I walk in hours, one day I shall be home. One day I shall be home.
Good morning, Ahava. Good morning. Yes, let's give some more love for our guest here today, Mitch Barrett. Woo. So grateful. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and we gather every Sunday knowing that love is always the answer. That's right. I'm Reverend Rainbow, so grateful to serve as your spiritual director, and on behalf of our leadership and our entire community, we welcome you here today. So happy Sunday. Just a funny anecdote. I was like, okay, you know, it's Easter Sunday when I live across town and I'm driving through and I'm like, more traffic than I've ever seen. And then people honking and speeding around me. I'm like, all right, you get to church on time. I'm just going to chill. I was like, it's different. People are up early. So we are a conscious community committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. We are an open and affirming community. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path of discovery, know that you are absolutely welcome here, yes? And our online viewers, thank you for joining us from wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Say hello in the chat. Make sure to hit that like, share, subscribe button. Let us know where you're tuning in from today, what you're doing, and make sure to say hello to our chat host, Alina, who is a member and service all the way across from California. I was going to say across the pond, but that's not right. Across the land, the other coast. So we are grateful for our global virtual community and the many ways that people serve this community, sometimes that you don't even see or know about. Even if you're in the room, we encourage you to take out your phone, just silence that volume first, take pictures, take video clips, post, share, subscribe, all those things as well. You can also get more involved in our Facebook community group. There's a lot of interaction going on there. And to receive our text the word yes to 87447 to get those weekly affirmations and updates on our Sunday gathering. I'm looking around, as the slide may say, welcome first-time guest, and I think we are all second, third, 150th times guests. So let us welcome each and every person who is here today. Give yourself a round of applause. You woke up, you showed up, and you're making a difference. Yes. And we are so grateful for all of our volunteers. So give a few shout outs today. We have Heather with the youth. They're doing an affirmation egg hunt, so give her some love. Yes, we have Jean behind camera, David on sound, Amy on slides. Thank you for our media team. And again, the many of you who are greeting and helping serve during the week and behind the scenes, we are grateful for all of you who make this community. Now is the time where we get to reflect on the truth that we are one. And I invite you to perhaps place your hands over your heart and to turn to someone and say, thank you for being a reflection of me. And we have an amazing vision and purpose here. So I invite you to repeat after me. We are an inclusive community. Committed to global transformation through personal evolution. And our purpose, let's do this one together. Ready? Wake up, step up, and make a difference. That's right. Today's affirmation I will read and then invite you to affirm along with me. I cultivate growth, welcoming solutions that nourish me. I cultivate growth, welcoming solutions that nourish me. Yes. And now let's take a deep breath. We're going to bring in the vibration of this crystal singing bowl. Representing that vibration, that heartbeat of Mother Earth. In the warm embrace of this sacred land, our hearts overflow with deep love and gratitude to this land's ancestral guardians, the Ochi, Osage, Cherokee, Shawnee, Hopewell, and Adena nations. We pledge to be attentive listeners, amplifiers of Indigenous voices, and perpetual learners about the rich diversity of Indigenous cultures, histories, and contemporary challenges. Taking another deep breath in, calling forth all of our ancestors and guides to be with us now. As we move into this moment of centering, allowing this vibration to raise your vibration to the highest it can hold. Tuning into this one life, this one presence that is expressing in, as, and through all. We take this moment to ground, to center, to remember who we are. And I now invite our practitioner, Patty Cooper, to lead us in our opening blessing.
Vibration. We can feel it in our bodies. Throughout every cell and tissue, raising that vibration. I know that today and every day there is only one life, one mind, one energy, one essence. Today, I know that one as joy. I know it is love and peace and abundance. It's so much more. And knowing that that's the truth of the one. It is the truth of me, and it is absolutely the truth of each person hearing my voice right now. Love, peace, joy, abundance. I know that we are blessed in every way, blessed by the center, blessed by our minister, Reverend Rainbow, by musicians and members and participants and everyone who raises the vibration of Ahava. Blessings abound. Regardless of any situation, blessings are everywhere. Glimmers of love and expectation. And I let it be by saying, and so it is.
Yes. And now David with our reading.
I just want to let that ring a little bit longer. Feels so good to have that passing through me, you know. Okay, this is from the book by Mark Nebo, The Book of Awakening. Burying and planting. The culmination of one love, one dream, one self, is the anonymous seed of the next. There is very little difference between burying and planting, for often we need to put dead things to rest so that new life can grow. And further, the thing we put to rest, whether it be a loved one, a dream, or a false way of seeing, becomes the fertilizer for the life about to form. As the well-used thing joins the earth, the old love fertilizes the new. The broken dream fertilizes the dream yet conceived. The painful way of being that strapped us to the world fertilizes the freer inner stance about to unfold. This is very helpful when considering the many forms of self we inhabit over our lifetime. One self carries us to the extent of its usefulness and dies. We are then forced to put that once beloved skin to rest, to join it with the ground of spirit from which it came, so it may fertilize the next skin of self that will carry us into tomorrow. There's always grief for what is lost and always surprise at what is to be born. But much of our pain in living comes from wearing a dead and useless skin, refusing to put it to rest, or from burying such things with the intent of hiding them rather than relinquishing them. For every new way of being, there is a failed attempt mulching beneath the tongue. For every sprig that breaks the surface, there is an old stick stirring underground. For every moment of joy sprouting, there is a new moment of struggle taking root. We live, embrace, and put to rest our dearest things, including how we see ourselves, so we can resurrect our lives anew.
It was confusing yesterday. My children, my three little ones, were confused about this whole Easter Bunny Jesus thing. And I am too. I'm just like, I don't even know how to explain it. You know, River's 10, so he's like, well, I know that the egg stuff is sort of symbolic of fertilization or creation. And I was like, yeah, they used to make weird pastries and stuff. He's like, yeah, Dad, you told me about that. But I wanted to write a song, but I can't. It's kind of like the whole political thing right now. My agent said, when are you going to write about this? I said, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. You know, it's like, I'm going to wait and see what happens. But So I'm falling back on old songs. This is a song I wrote about my yard, my sacred yard, which now is my sacred pollen yard. I sit on the porch and just guess which trees I'm allergic to. Outside my front yard, got a plastic rooster and a Noah's Ark. Camel bells from a foreign land, crystal ball on a terracotta stand. Jesus' cross is hanging in the trees, Tibetan prayer flags rolling in the breeze. Look, rub my lucky yard gnome as you walk past, my concrete Buddha laughing in the grass. Wipe your feet before you step from your car, you're on hallowed ground, you're in my sacred yard. Holy water in the bird bath to wash your sins, now you're forgiven. Come on in. I got a silver star of David, stained glass moon, sentimental objects hanging in my room. Everything is sacred, every breath of air. Be careful what you're thinking, every thought's a prayer. It's the ordinary people you talk to every day, incantations and prophecies from the mouths of babes. You can talk about the weather or the food you crave. It's the feelings you project, not the words you say. Wipe your feet before you step from your car, you're on hallowed ground, you're in my sacred yard. Holy water in the bird bath to wash your sins, now you're forgiven. Come on in. If you're searching for happiness, try not to look so hard. Take you a lawn chair, go out in your yard and stare straight up at the sky so blue. Yeah, God's in heaven, but heaven's in you. Wipe your feet before you step from your car, you're on hallowed ground, you're in my sacred yard. Holy water in the bird bath to wash your sins, now you're forgiven. And I'm forgiven. Well, we're all forgiven. Come on in. Come on in. Howdy, Easter Bunny. Wipe your feet. Come on in.
Yes. Let's give it up again for Mitch Barrett. Yes. Yes. Love that song. Feel those lyrics, right? Like everything is sacred. We're all forgiven. Just the gentle reminder of come on in. Yes. Love it. So we are continuing with our theme, fertilizing our future. I promise to find as many references to fertilizer and compost and poop this month as I can. So that reading was perfect, right? No. So today, across the world, millions of Christians are celebrating Easter, as well as culturally with the Easter bunny and eggs. And last week, the Jewish community celebrated Passover, and often these holidays coincide, yes. And then we also had the spring equinox, which earth lovers and pagans honor to notice the cycles in nature as too in our life. And this Tuesday is Earth Day. So we're going to tie those all together in a beautiful bow. Sound good? Maybe I'll have something that you can take home to your young ones, Mitch, and help explain it all a bit. No. So the name of this holiday, Easter, is likely originating from the Old English of the goddess Eostre, the Anglo-Saxon paganism, right? and the tradition of bunnies representing spring and fertility and new life and rebirth. And then the celebration of Easter and the story of Jesus' resurrection also has that theme of rising above, of transcending an old way, an old form, much like the caterpillar goes into its chrysalis and becomes that goo. But from that goo, which represents and looks nothing like its previous form, there lives imaginal cells. And in those imaginal cells hold the potential for the butterfly to emerge. So it literally changes form from one thing to another. So these stories are represented in our faith traditions, in mystical wisdom, in earth, in nature, and in our culture, because these themes resonate with our life. We make mistakes, we fall down, we have struggles, we experience loss, and in each moment we have an opportunity to begin again, to choose a new thought, to shift our perspective, to integrate our full experiences into who we are now, and then create who we are to be, to resurrect from our old stories into our true nature. And Tuesday is the 55th anniversary of the official Earth Day holiday. So that's a time to reflect on not only the beauty of our planet, but how it is our shared home. And to remember it is our sacred responsibility to care for it. So we know that Earth isn't this thing. It is something we are in relationship with. Like, it's not this thing separate from us, I should say. Because we are one, we are the earth. We are the soil, we are the rivers, we are the air, we are the fire. We are the universe, we are the stars. It all lives within us. And when we engage in sustainable practices, planting trees, reducing our waste, recycling, these actions that we can take, we're not just helping our planet, but it's a way of honoring that relationship with respect, that interconnection with all of life. So whenever we have an opportunity to interact with nature, putting our hands in the soil, laying in the sun, whatever it may be. I love bird watching, right? Or just playing with the little critters in the grass and noticing how they move. So all of these moments invite us inward to tend to our inner soul, to nourish our soul, and remember that interconnection and relationship with all of life. So the story of Easter, resurrection, it's not just about one man rising from a tomb 2,000 plus years ago. The story is in all of us and for all of us, similar to that mythical hero or Shiro's journey. It's about the reminder that we all have the opportunity to raise from the lack and the limitation, the limiting beliefs and the fear. Easter is like life whispering, you are not stuck, you are not broken, you are not finished. You are being renewed, resurrected. And what I know is that resurrection isn't just this one-time event, right? It's not like we live life similarly to just be awakened or enlightened as a one-time thing. It's a daily practice to come back to that truth of who we are, And the more we die daily to those old beliefs and habits and patterns that keep us stuck in a certain construct, the more that we can die to those old habits and rise up and let something new be birthed, then we can resurrect our true self, our eternal spiritual identity that cannot be confined by conditions or circumstances or the illusion of separation. So just like Earth Day, it's not about doing something big all at once, right? Earth Day is one day, but we don't save the planet in one day, right? It reminds us of our daily habits that we can do to honor Mother Nature. And we've been talking the past couple weeks as well about cultivating good habits and this idea of small steps, right? You've maybe heard that concept of changing that like 1% change over time, and then another 1% change. And after a while, we become a completely new being. So those small, consistent actions of our spiritual practices, our thoughts of love, our words of hope, the moments of mindfulness, they all stack up like habit stacking and begin to look back at your life and like, wow, if you take that moment to reflect, you can see how much you've transformed and how much you have risen above a past iteration of yourself that you thought maybe was your limit, right? That you thought, well, that was it, the pinnacle, the peak, that was who I am. And the more we grow, the more we learn, we have a lot more to learn and to grow. Or is that just me? So we can see that every burden, every challenge, every stone that blocks our path is not permanent. The pain, the grief, right? That is real. We can honor that, but it's not forever. And even the heaviest stones can be moved. So there's a story about a man who lived in a cave. And one day he woke up to a great stone blocking the entrance and exit of his cave. He could not leave the cave, so he then immediately prayed, God, deliver me. And then he heard the voice of God say, push the stone. So he pushed the stone, nothing happened. Day after day, he pushed the stone, he pushed the stone. Weeks became months. He pushed the stone, he pushed the stone. The stone didn't budge. Finally, he cried out again, desperate, why, God, why aren't you helping me? And he heard that voice of Spirit. Look at your arms, it said. Look at your legs. You have grown stronger. Your strength is the miracle. Now I will roll away the stone. We've all been pushing, right? We've been through grief. We've been through uncertainty. We've experienced an ever-changing world. More than most generations have seen this type of change. You know, the technology growth is just exponential. We've all had personal experiences of life that have shaped us and helped us grow more resilient and to know our own strength. It may feel like in those moments that nothing is happening, but I invite you to see yourself as God sees you. To take that perspective away from perhaps the closeness and the gritty details of whatever struggle you may be in, or the grittiness of the news in our world today, and to step away a little bit and to take that moment of reflection and to see how you have been transformed. Perhaps more strength and resilience, more love, more compassion. Perhaps things are calling you to learn more about yourself and the way the world works. You are building strength and endurance and that muscle of faith. The stone that was once a barrier to your next evolution or becoming now becomes a witness to your personal power and strength, right? It's like you live to tell the tale. And Michael Beckwith, the founder of Agape Spiritual Center in Los Angeles, he says you can be pulled by vision or pushed by your pain, right? And Ernest Holmes, the great founder of the Science of Mind, says it is through our deepest pain that we find our deepest growth. So the cultural metaphysical understanding of the story of Easter and represented in Christianity, Jesus experienced what we as humans from our understanding view as the ultimate pain and suffering and ending through death. And the story tells us that was not the end. Where in your life, or maybe you're there right now, have you experienced something that brought you to your knees in such a way that you thought, this is it? And on the other side, you have risen. And if you're in that place right now, we are here to hold you, to support you, to remind you of the regenerative power of spirit within you to rise again. And together we have the power to create the change we desire in our collective experience, because it is up to us. It is up to us to build our strength, do our daily practices, and to rise up and to speak our voice, our authentic love, sing our song, share of ourselves and our light and our talent with this world in such a way that we are unburdened and unhindered by the fear of our previous self that maybe experienced lack or doubt, but to stand resurrected in the full nature of who you are here to be. So what stone is Spirit inviting you to roll away this day? What idea is ready to be released? What belief about yourself is no longer serving you? What tomb or cave of beliefs have you been sleeping in? Because the truth is, you are the light. So let's let this Earth Day be a reminder to widen our circle of care, not just to our own personal growth and community and collective love and care, but for our planet. And let's have this Easter be a reminder that we are not separate. We are one. We are divine manifestation of life itself. And we are here to express it, to bring it, this life, into form. So let's let this day be the day that we commit to rise up in our fullness, in our strength, in our power, and to honor Mother Earth for providing this grounding foundation, this planet, for us to play on and to explore and to grow and to know ourselves more. And remember, this time of spring, that life is always quietly growing beneath the surface, even in the harshness of winter when we can't see it. When something seems to be blocking it, that stone too heavy, that ice and snow too cold, the soil too barren. But we are asking not to resist this heaviness, but to tend to the ground of your own being, to push against the stone, not to move it with force, but slowly to be shaped by the faith that it takes to push the stone. And remember that resurrection isn't just a moment, it is a movement. We are seeing a lot of collective movements going on in our world right now, in our different culture and society across the world. People are standing up and rising up and coming together in various movements of energy, arising from what was into what is yet to be. And in each breath, we have the opportunity to begin again, to make a new choice, to plant a new seed, and to cultivate that with loving care and growth. Because you are not your past. You are your presence, and the very presence of the living Spirit, the great I am. Roll away the stone. Rise into the love that you are. Drink from the living waters. Tend the soil. Nurture your soul. And live as if you are being made anew in each moment. Because that is what's happening. This is your time. This is your time to rise and to let that stone be the silent witness to your story, and your life be the gift and the blessing to the world. Are you up for it? Let's hear that a little bit more enthusiastically. Are you up for it? Yes. And so it is. All right, let's pray. So grateful to know right here, right now, this presence, this I am, the love, the joy, the peace, the freedom of life itself is living and moving and having its way as me, as each and every being. So right here, right now, from this place of oneness, I claim love and wholeness revealed. I know that there is an infinite potential living within each of us. That there is this love that is guiding the way. So in this moment, I declare the wholeness and love of our personal power is rising up this day. And I know that the highest and best outcome for our community, for our country, for our world, for our planet is being revealed right here, right now, through each of us as we listen to that divine guidance for what is ours to do. Who are we here to be? What are we becoming? And what are we here to give and to share and to express? So I'm so grateful to know that this is always being revealed in, as, and through all of life. So this day I know that we choose to listen, to be, and to become. So grateful for the fulfillment of this word. I release it into the action of the law that always says yes. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. Let's bring back Mitch for some more music.
I'm going to try. I watched the Bob Dylan thing last night and was reminded of how Pete Seeger was so, he wasn't about being a famous singer, he just loved music and shared music and wanted people to sing. So this song came to me from my old music partner, Martin Swinger, who's gone on to the spirit world. But this was one of the just little thing he made up on a road trip or walking or something. I don't remember, but I was present to him letting that come through. So I'm going to share it with you. I'll sing a line and you sing it back to me. If I had the wings of a sparrow, if I had the good sense to fly, I'd soar with the wind in my wingspan, and never regret having tried. If I had the wings of a sparrow, if I had the good sense to fly, I'd soar with the wind in my wingspan, and never regret having tried. That's nice. 2 songs now? Okay. I know you told me like 4 times, but I don't know. I wanted to share this. I had my 3 little ones. Well, River was doing some sort of soccer thing inside the house, watching something. But the little ones, Ollie and Letty. Letty's 2 and Ollie's 4. I know you're looking at me like, you're 100. How do you have... They're my little Buddhas. And I was reminded, it's not just children. It's like you started, thank you for the reflection of me and you. And they're all around us. But yesterday, I was exhausted from the week of just following them around, doing this and this and this and this. And I said, all right, guys, I want y'all to come in, and we're just going to chill out. I'm going to make some supper. And both of them are just like, Ollie's the leader, the 4-year-old. He's like, he's having nothing to do with that. They started heading out the front door, and I'm like, where are you going? Do you hear me? Listen to me. And they're going to swing. And I'm like, a compromise. It's not that you're not minding me. That's a great idea. Yeah. Okay, go swing, and then when I holler at you, you come back. So they're swinging. I'm getting supper started. I come out, and I'm like, all right, guys, come on back in. And Ollie goes over and whispers something to Letty. And they take off down the driveway, just laughing their little butts off, And Daddy's head is going, I'm just like, I'm going to stroke out. What do I do? My dad, I mentioned the other night, I said, I never said no to my dad. And River's like, never? And I said, no, I never said no to my dad. He said, mow the yard. I might complain, but I was headed out to mow the yard. He was like, that's weird. It's not our world. But both of them just headed down the driveway. Luckily, I live in the holler, so they went down the road and over to my sister's, to their Aunt Audie's. And so I'm losing it. I'm on the porch, and I'm just, River, come and help me. And he's like, what is it, Dad? I'm like, they just took off down the driveway. They're not listening. They're not stopping. And River's like, okay, I'll go chase them down. And so I'm hollering out in the holler. That's why they call him a holler. And I'm like, Ollie, Letty. And my sister hollers back, they're down here, Mitch. They're okay. Try to everybody's kind of looking at Daddy like, try to calm down, It's okay. And I'm just like, wow. And just letting go and giving in to, I'm still growing at 65. I'm just like, oh, Lordy. Anywho, it's always a pleasure to come here, and always, I don't know, something about coming here affects me in such a way. I thought maybe it was my shoes earlier. I thought, well, I'm disconnected from the universe or something. And then I thought, well, maybe it's because it's being broadcast live, and I'm trying to I'm thinking in both places, I can usually slow it down. I used to just be a folk singer, but now I'm a janitor. I clean up pee and things like that, spills. And sometimes they just stand and pour things on the floor just to watch me, They're teaching me. I have exhausted my potential. I have dreamed my last dream. I have flaunted my credential. There's no credit left for me. I'm overextended. I'm overdrawn. Never mind my intentions. I had no idea I would live this long, but it's gonna get better in the morning. I'm gonna be a brand new man. I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna do the very best that I can. I know I've told y'all this story, but I wrote this song while I was in New Orleans, visiting with my little theater group to work with another theater group. We were collecting stories from folks who survived Hurricane Katrina and writing a play and some songs. And you can find that online. I think it's called My Louisiana. But anyway, while I was there, I got to see the debut of this documentary that this young girl was making about rescuing her mother and her uncle. And in this movie, or documentary, there's this scene where she's walking through her mother's house and you can see the water lines way up around the ceiling. Everything is destroyed. Everything that woman ever owned was gone. It was a real sad scene. And she turns and looks at the camera that her husband's running. She said, "Where's Mama?" He said, "I think she's outside." And they turn and walk back through the house out onto the front porch, and you see all the destruction in the front yard. They walk around the back of the house, and there's her mama, this little Cajun woman. She's got about 6 rows hoed. She's got her apron pulled up with a bunch of potatoes cut up, and she's dropping potatoes. Her daughter says, "Mama, what are you doing?" She said, "Honey, when you don't know what to do, you just do what you can." And that's when this came to me. I've observed from my perspective, yeah, the view from where I stand, and I do conclude that the objective is when you don't know what to do, you just do what you can. I'm overextended, I'm overdrawn. Never mind my intentions. I had no idea I would live this long, but it's gonna get better, better in the morning. I'm gonna be a brand new man. I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna do the very best that I can. I suggest we all put one foot in front of the other. It's funny when you write songs, you come up with lines like that sound really cool, but then if you think about it literally, you're going to fall if you put one foot in front of the other. But anyway, that's a different story. We're gonna do the very best that we can.
Oh, so good, so good. So we're going to take a moment now to connect and to integrate everything so far today. So whatever spoke to you today. Perhaps it was a lyric in a song that brought something up, or something from the message around who you are becoming, what are you leaving behind, and what are you rising up into. I invite you to find someone now to connect with and share for a few moments. And online, you can share too. Chat with us. Make sure both people have a chance to share. Switch if you haven't yet. All right, begin to bring your share to a close. Thank your partner. Yes. So we're going to move into our time of conscious giving now. And we will pass the basket in the room. Some of our core council's members are preparing that now. But you can also give online. You can text the word give to 859-209-6996, or you can go to our website and give there as well. So let us now move into our offering affirmation. Repeat after me: divine love as me. Blesses and multiplies all that I have. All that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. That's right. All right, let's have some more music. Woo, 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 woo.
Let's try this. Don't know if I can do this. As my Uncle Tommy used to say at church, pray for me as I try to do this. I don't know if I got this or not. I never know. I call it my magic flute because sometimes I can play it. Sometimes it won't even make noise. It's like... Jesus walked this lonesome valley. He had to walk it by himself. Nobody else could walk it for him. He had to walk it by himself. I must walk this lonesome valley. I have to walk it by myself. Oh, nobody else can walk it for me. I have to walk it by myself. We must go and stand our trials. We have to stand them by ourselves. Nobody else can stand them for us. We have to stand them by ourselves. I'm so glad that's not true. That's what I use in elementary schools. Ew, no. Okay. Is that it? Or you want me to do one more?
I'll say 2 things and then you're going to wrap us up with one more. Does that sound good?
Is it okay if I sit here?
Oh, you stay right there. Right. Yeah. No need for the ups and downs. All right, I hear you. My daughter is 9, and her energy hasn't died down since that 2-year-old energy. And I mean, I'm not 65, but y'all, I'm like, I'm moving a little slow today. Whew, I think I can still play like a 10-year-old, but my body sometimes tells me different, yes. So a few things coming up. I want to mention that we have rescheduled the embodiment workshop with Deborah, so super excited for that, Saturday, May 17th, yes. And make sure to connect with her if you have any questions. We are limiting it to just 10 people to have the best experience for all participants, and the registration opens this week. We'll be putting that out in social media, but check for that Friday e-news with the link to register as well. So looking forward to that, and all of the month of May on Sundays we'll be doing a book study on Braving the Wilderness. Order your book today. There's a link, again, in that e-newsletter. If you order through that link, Ahava makes a little bit of the proceeds from that as well. And if you have any questions about that, you can connect with Jenna, who will be leading that. And meditation, we have a number of ongoing events, but I do want to mention that our Wednesday night meditation and metaphysical discussion will be moving in person and outside, weather dependent, for May through September. So join myself or one of our practitioners who will be leading that the first Wednesday of every month. And again, if it's nice, we'll sit outside in a nice circle, meditate, be one with the earth, and have a wonderful discussion as well. I think that's it. Yes, so licensed practitioners are here to support you today. Yes, we have Patty Cooper who will be available for prayer. You can also do prayer box and prayer request online, and Alois. I thought that was next week. No. Okay.
I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh, were you wanted the Giving Sunday thing today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that one. So. They got to hear you online. I know you can shout, but your shouting and your loud voice doesn't go through the ethers like a microphone.
So, not last month, but the month before, we gave to flood victims, and we raised almost $400 in doing so. But recently, the Humane Society, along with some other organizations, have gotten together and have set up a shelter for 4-legged family members. And, you get flooded out, but we love them, and they love us unconditionally. Mm-hmm. So this month, we're going to be given to that organization so that they can afford to buy dog food or cat food or whatever it takes to get these people so they can get back into their homes, but they're not worried about their little animals. Anyway, they weren't here. It was they were busy, and instead of coming, I said, just give me the info and I'd be happy to do it. So I'll make sure that they get that, and I'll make sure I get back with you on what the result of that was as well. Yes. And thank you.
Thank you, Alois. Yes. What a great organization. Yeah, so when people lost their homes in the floods, they have been caring for their animals, and then we'll reunite them once people get back on their feet. So beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we are going to do our benediction and then close out with one more song from Mitch. I invite you to repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. I accept it. I am it. And I share it. Just the way it appears, and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Yes.
It's a crazy world we live in. Bad news all around. Brothers and sisters, if we're gonna make a difference, we're gonna have to stand our ground. Be a drop in the bucket, and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river, and the river rushes on. Every river swells a river, until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Down in Alabama, a lady boarded a bus. The driver said, "You're black, you gotta sit in the back." Rosa said, "I've had enough." Yeah, she was a drop in the bucket, and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river, and the river rushes on. Every river swells the river, until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Great Britain ruled over India, made them slaves to the goods they bought. Till Gandhi took his people to the ocean, he said, "Look, free salt." Here was a drop in the bucket, and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river, and the river rushes on. Every river swells a river, until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. In the alleys of Calcutta, Mother Teresa lived her life. She did much more than feed the poor. She taught us how to shine our light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, yeah. This little light of mine, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. 'Cause we're a drop in the bucket, and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river, and the river rushes on. Every river swells a river, until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Thank y'all so much for letting me come again.